Hi everybody, my name is Stephanie Thiessen and I'm your GelMoment independent distributor. Today I'm going to show you how to use GelMoment thicker glitter polishes. There are 10 of them and they are a little bit thicker than the other polishes, and so I'm going to show you some tips and tricks for applying these polishes correctly so that they cure properly, as well as applying them nicely and cleanly to your nail plate. I'm going to start by showing you how to apply Shadow Surfer. It is the closest to our regular polishes in the thickness level of the polish. So basically, you're just going to apply this polish to your nail like you normally would. Now, oftentimes the question I get asked is how do I apply the polish when it's so thick? Well, getting the polish off of the brush before application is really important. So you saw me swirl the brush out of the polish bottle. That's going to be the easiest trick for getting as much of the polish off the brush as possible before starting to apply it to your nail plate. Just like with the other gel polishes, make sure that you're applying a thin coat of polish to the nail plate. This is going to help the polish cure fully. Also, make sure that you are doing a full cure. You'll notice for the video that I have cut out the curing time. However, I am doing a full 45-second cure on each coat before applying the next one. The next polish I'm going to show you is Chameleon Spirit. It is the thickest of all the gel polishes. It is extremely thick. You can see coming out of the bottle there that it is a very, very thick polish. So it's extremely important to get as much of the polish off of the brush as you can before you start applying it to your nail. The most common question I get regarding Chameleon Spirit is it supposed to be this thick? And the answer is yes, it is. For all of that beautiful glitter that's in there, this polish is a very thick polish. Now the next question I get is how do I apply this polish with it being so thick? And the answer is that you really need to remove as much of the polish off of the brush as possible. So the swirling method can really help you get a lot of that polish off of the brush so that you can apply it nice and evenly in thin coats to the nail, even though it is extremely thick. Applying these thicker gel polishes is very similar to how you would apply any of our other polishes. You want to make sure that you're applying thin coats, and having as little polish on the brush as you can is really going to help you apply it nice and cleanly. Oftentimes with these thicker polishes, ladies don't remove enough of the polish off of the brush before they start applying the polish to the nail, which can cause the polish to run and pool and just end up not making a nice clean manicure. But by removing as much of the polish off of the brush as you can before you start applying the polish to the nail, that's really going to help you paint a nice clean manicure with clean lines, and to make sure that you don't have any polish pooling or running down along your sidewalls. Applying thin coats of the polish to your nail is also extremely important, especially when you're using a thick glitter polish. Once you get to the second coat, it can become very difficult to see how much polish you actually have on your nail because it covers so nice and evenly. So it's very important to make sure that you have a very small amount of polish on the brush so that when you do start applying your second coat, that you do have a nice thin coat so that the polish cures fully. Next, I'm going to show you how to use Red Rebel. It is a bit of a different glitter because it has larger pieces of glitter in the polish. So just like with our other polishes, we're going to swirl the brush out of the bottle to remove as much of the polish off of the brush as we can. And then we're going to paint a nice clean manicure using really thin coats. The biggest difference with this polish is that it has larger pieces of glitter in the polish. And what can happen is as you're painting your nail, those larger pieces of glitter can kind of group in one area. So what you need to do is just take your brush and just dab them around the nail to distribute them evenly into the different areas of the nail where you want them. This is a really easy process. It's really easy to do. Just make sure that you don't have too much polish on your brush, or you can end up causing areas of your nail to have too much polish and a bit of a thicker application. Sometimes you'll get them where you'll have the glitter towards the tip of the nail. You'll just want to move them back so that they are not on the end of the nail, which can cause the polish to sort of feel rough at the end of the nail. Lastly, I'm going to show you Tinsel Shower. This is a really unique color, a really unique polish. It has larger strips of tinsel mixed in the polish. So what you want to do is you just want to make sure that you're applying the polish evenly to your nail, just like you normally would. And then again, we're going to move those pieces of tinsel around on the nail so that they are evenly distributed. You can see as I'm painting, they sort of end up grouping at the end of the nail. And so you just want to make sure that you have them evenly distributed on the nail in a way that you like before curing. You can also use your cuticle pusher just to move them out of the way into the area where you want them, away from your cuticle line or your sidewalls, or away from the end of the nail. You may notice that the bristles on this brush for this polish are not sitting as nicely as some of the other ones have. Because the polish is thicker, what can happen is when you put your brush back into the bottle, it can cause the bristles to get stuck in a certain position, which can cause them to not sit nicely on the nail. If you have bristles on your brush that are really kind of wacky and aren't really sitting nice and are making it difficult to paint, you can clean the brush off with an alcohol swab and just really easily clip those bristles that are being problematic off of the brush. Cutting off a few of them isn't going to cause any problems, and it's going to help you paint a clean manicure. Lastly, if you notice that the cap on the end of your nail is a little bit rough, just take the buffer and buff off that rough area. It's just from the glitter. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Thanks so much for watching.